exciting to be able to use these resources that are tied to the traditional harvesting techniques, and they're tied to a history that really respects the natural heritage of North Carolina. My name is Amanda Vickers, and I'm here in Blue Ridge Food Ventures today with my partner Wallace. We're going to make a salt scrub for Mountains to Seeds. This is our product line that's based on North Carolina ingredients that are wild harvested in the different areas of North Carolina, the mountains, the Piedmont, and the coastal plains, and the tidewaters. We're here today to show you how to make a simple, invigorating, and nourishing salt scrub that you can do in your home.
Blue Ridge Food Ventures is set up so that small producers can do production without having to do the capital investment of all stainless steel and the kettles and the filling facilities and all. So it makes it easier for small producers to actually produce without having to spend a whole bunch of money, because that would be prohibitive to step in and have to buy all that stuff.
It's huge that Blue Ridge Food Ventures is here, because none of the companies that are here would be doing the work that they do if we didn't have this incubator space. For me, even the whole concept of wanting to do a natural product line emerged as a possibility because I knew Blue Ridge Food Ventures was here as a resource, and I would be able to make the products here. Now we're ready to make our scrub. So this is the Mountains to Sea Peppermint and Myrtle body scrub. This is for rough skin, for feet, elbows, and any place where you just kind of want to invigorate and exfoliate your skin and stimulate your immune system. And we're going to mix our dry powder ingredients, and then we're just going to add the mixture of coconut oil and infused grapeseed oil at the end, and we'll package it up and have a great scrub. So Wallace here has sea salt. This is from Wilmington, North Carolina. It's from Carolina Salt Works. So this is harvested on the full moon. These are ground muscadine seeds that we harvested from a small producer in Henderson County, who's he's really still at a hobby scale making muscadine wines. And after the grapes have fermented, the skins and seeds are left over, and they're kind of a waste product. What we're going to do today is use the whole seed ground up and make that into a scrub that can stimulate the immune system and exfoliate dead cells. So we're really excited to be able to find a use for this great nutritious byproduct. When you're using a scrub, what you really want to do is really wake up your skin. And when you wake up your skin with these with the scrubbing action, and then you have mineralization from the minerals in the sea salt, and then you have these nice antioxidants and vitamin E's and phytonutrients from the muscadine seeds. You're helping to really rejuvenate the immune system that's in your skin. The next ingredient that we have is slippery elm bark. It's harvested from the branch of the slippery elm so that the slippery elm can regenerate. If you take it internally, it's really great for calming and soothing the stomach tissues. If you have a cold and inflamed respiratory tract, we can take slippery elm bark to help soothe and moisturize those inflamed tissues. And then also for the skin, it's beautiful, anti-inflammatory, moisturizing, and calming ingredient. When you add hot water to slippery elm bark, it tends to gel up. It's what's called mucilaginous herb. And so it makes a nice addition to the salts and the scrubbing muscadine seeds. So then the next ingredient is Arrowroot Powder. Arrowroot is from South America, but what this does for the scrub and for you when you use it is to draw away the toxins that these scrubbing elements sort of they scrub up. So this is really absorbent, and it's also calming and soothing to the skin. It's a starchy root. It's a really nice, gentle, for people who have acne or sensitivities to other cosmetic powders. A lot of times Arrowroot is a good substitute for some of the traditional cosmetic powders and foundations. So we're going to add it in there to make sure that when we scrub up that elbow grease, we have something in there to help draw it away. So this is a formula that we came up with. We've experimented with the recipe, and we've gotten the ratios to where we can produce a consistency that we really like. A little bit of prep work happens before what you see on the table. This jar is the remainder of an infusion that we made with wax myrtle leaves and grapeseed oil. Growing up on the coast, I grew up with wax myrtle, and the smell of it really has stuck with me, and it's been something that I always want to go back to. And so what we've done is harvest from wax myrtle. It's actually in the land where my sister lives, in the marsh in Wilmington, North Carolina, and we've infused the wax myrtle into a grapeseed oil overnight. And just, you could use like a oven on a low setting. I used an herb dryer, a nice dry area where there's not a lot of potential to get microbes in your oil infusion. Some people do use a water bath. That's another method, and it's really, that's part of the art, is that there's a lot of different ways to do it. And then we just weigh out all of our ingredients. I work always by weight, just because it's simpler to have everything by weight. So you need a good kitchen scale, and then just bowls to measure into, and a nice big mixing container, and that's about all that's required. So in this bowl is the wax myrtle infused into grapeseed oil. We also use a little bit of coconut oil. It's got great antifungal benefits for the skin, moisturizing, and our essential oils. 2 essential oils that we're using. One is, in the name of the scrub, it's peppermint essential oil, and peppermint is just great cooling essential oil. Clary sage. There's also a huge clary sage production in coastal North Carolina, so we're excited to include that. And today we're super excited to have some locally produced essential oils from Blue Ridge Aerobatics. These are essential oils that you really can't find anywhere. You can't just go online and purchase hemlock essential oil or this particular cypress or eastern red cedar, which is very abundant in our area. And they're beautiful aromas, and they just will invoke the experience of being outdoors in this area, being in the woods and grabbing a branch and, crunching it in your hand, and the uplifting experience of that is what we want to bring to our consumers. So when we combine the essential oils with the fixed oils, which in this case is coconut, and then the infused oil, which is in grapeseed, I warm them slightly, just enough to melt the coconut oil, which could be as low as about 80 degrees Fahrenheit. You don't want to go much above that. I try to keep, when I'm working with essential oils, they're very volatile, and so to make sure I keep all of the lovely aromatic components in the product, we don't want to heat them over about 100 degrees. So we just warm them just enough to melt and incorporate them into a nice smooth mixture. So I'm just going to drizzle this over the dry mixture. We'll do this in a couple steps. So just like if you were making brownies, You want to add the wet components little by little so they get evenly distributed. So as it starts to come together, you start to see the texture starting to be something kind of like wet sand. So filling is just like making a sandcastle on the beach. We're using little 4-ounce measure right now. A little jelly jar. It's going to be a little bit more than 4 ounces, but this is a kind of a loose packed product. You want a little funnel and let's see how that works. So we're still developing the process, but you have a nice little scrub.